Well, Harry and Meghan have wasted no time in making the Queen's death about themselves, and Harry's memoirs are gonna be part of it. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. By the way, what kind of appearance is this going to a funeral? Why does Meghan look like she's going to the club? I can listen 50 Cent pounding on the speakers right now. Thanks to Jersey Diane on Twitter that pointed out this pic with the caption, "Meghan found the spray tan again." You know, the 15 shades of Meghan. But we need to talk about Harry's memoirs, because it seems that Gingerbread is decided to publish them before this year ends. So much for mourning your grandmother, has, because Tom Bauer was interviewed by Dan Wootton for GB News, and I am told tonight that Harry is insisting that his book is published in November. Tom Bauer tells Dan Wootton that Prince Harry is planning to publish his memoir by the end of the year. And let's listen by the author of Revenge himself.
In the end, it's down to whether Harry and Meghan are prepared to apologise to Kate and William. My suspicion is, I'm convinced they won't apologise.
Well, that's my suspicion too. No apologies.
Even worse, I'm told tonight that Harry is insisting that his book is published in November.
You're kidding.
Absolutely, it's absolutely astonishing. He's insisting. Apparently the publishers are not too certain, but he says that if they don't publish, he will breach a contract.
Yeah, as I've told you so many times, you have to follow the money because it will lead to where the truth is.
That's what I'm told. And it's extraordinary because I think that's pretty, on the other hand, it fits the bill because Harry and Meghan's finances depend entirely on the book and on Netflix. And also, I think they're convinced they're in the right and they want to get their own back. And I think that part of the problem getting them to come out on that walk yesterday was very much because they can't decide whether they should appear or not. After all,
well, I don't think Harry and Meghan are actually hesitating about what are they going to do next, because all they have left is looking for the money. That's why I tell you, follow the money. That's how their behavior is shaped, and that's their main allegiance.
They didn't plan to be here for a funeral. They thought they were coming for just a visit to promote themselves. They've been caught up in it.
And they didn't intend to see any.
And they didn't. And we got to remember that Meghan refused to go to Balmoral ever since she was invited by the Queen in 2018. Refused to go up to see her while she was alive, but was desperate to go up there the day of the death. I mean, that is a disgrace of it all.
Yeah, their supporters want everyone to believe that, well, they have no personal interests in all this, that this was a disgrace for them too, when, well, there's enough proof that they are making this about themselves, and that is despicable. And which better proof than one of their mouthpieces himself? I'm not gonna mention him, I'm not gonna amplify his brand, but I can quote his words. Confirmed. I understand that, unlike Prince Andrew at Final Vigil, Prince Harry will not be allowed to wear uniform at any ceremonial events. No doubt a huge blow for the Duke of Sussex, who served for 10 years and this morning spoke of the Queen being his commander-in-chief. We got another one. Prince Harry moves to dispel military uniform dispute. Focus on the Queen. Harry's Spox. His decade of military service is not determined by the uniform he wears. Well, you know, he's had a fair share of problems with uniforms in the past, that I'm not going to show here. But it's this narrative that he is beyond all this. But if this was the case, then he won't be complaining about that, or complaining about security, or anything. He will understand that this is about his grandmother and not about himself. But we got our fair share of boot leakers. Prince Harry wouldn't need to issue such a statement if Buckingham Palace had recognized his service in Afghanistan and allowed him to wear an uniform. So people are insisting on making this about Harry, and of course, that helps his brand and Meghan's too. Nice statement by Touré Bakahai. Has spelled as a heavily guarded junior officer in his granny's army included repeatedly racially abusing ethnic minority soldiers. It's all on video. Strange how his apologies never mention offenses that would have seen any other public figure disgraced and cancelled for life. Because they are not interested in these recollections. They are not interested in the truth. They are just interested in putting Harry like he's the victim of something. Well, he's a professional victim after all, so I think they are all on the same page. And don't get me started with these theories that are being planted all over the internet. As Riley Dog tweeted via HRH Facts on Insta, take this with a pinch of salt because I am not able to verify with multiple sources. But I am briefed by former Clarence House source that William, Prince of Wales, suggested Harry to be allowed to wear Blues and Royals uniform at least during 2 events. And this would have been the least problematic scenario. The King's and late Queen's private secretaries rejected the suggestion from the Prince of Wales and his team. I don't buy this. I think this is the real narrative. Prince William will not meet his brother until his memoir is released because he cannot trust him not to repeat their discussions. And no, I don't think William is willing to give Harry a pass because you know his body language, how he showed himself at that meeting. William never let his guard down. He's usually tense, but this time it was cranked up to 11. He didn't enjoy this. I'm sure he wants the Harkles a little bit further than overseas. Yeah, that hands on fists, that tells a lot about his stance at the moment and his stance about Harry making this about himself. Another statement, this time by Harkle lies. Harry was a military man. Bro, you walk away from your duty, crown, country, and in the middle of your post. You don't get to wear your uniform. It's not rocket science. There are consequences to your actions. Grow up and be a man. Hashtag Harry is a traitor. Now, we are so used to Meghan, pulling those strings in the background that maybe that letter that Harry sent to the Queen was not entirely his authorship or at all. Maybe Meghan was kind of a ghostwriter to him. And this was a word, a sentence that I missed on my analysis of this letter. The Blaze mom replied, "Do you think over-controlling Meg let Harry approve the contents or write this all by himself? Darling wife gave it away. Given his permanent mood and facial expression when he's out with her in public, darling wife isn't the feeling that naturally seemed to come to his mind." And yeah, you know how bossy can Meghan be. And this is a clip shared by Pilot Hardy. "Shake my hand, I command you." In that clip you can see that Meghan is offering her hand, so the girl shakes it. But in Nutmeg's case, her patience is not her best asset. There she is. Meghan offers her hand. The girl doesn't grab it. Meghan gets impatient, and if Meg wants a handshake, she's going to get it. She goes and pokes the girl on her arm, and then grabs her hand. I grab your hand, and then shake it. I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. Well, J.E. May has her own opinion. She's rather aggressive with the child, first poking the arm to get the child's attention, then shaking her hand too strongly for a child, in my opinion. Other adults simply offer their hand and hold a child's hand for a few seconds and do not shake the child's arm. And I mentioned ghostwriter Meghan as a reference to this. Joshua Lisek, the ghostwriter, when they say every man has his price, this is what they mean. Prince Harry's price to betray his family was a mere 20 million. A hefty piece goes to his ghostwriter anyway. The man that is going to write the book for himself, because Harry just gives the idea. So, well, maybe Meghan can give her own ideas because she just found her notes with all the memories of living among the royal family. What does that tell us? And you might remember Baroness Brock's tweet about the contents of the book and how the publishers are pushing Harry to be as harsh as possible. The publishers had encouraged Harry to criticize his family in the most extreme terms possible, easily persuaded. To earn out the publishers' advance, nothing and no one had been sacrosanct. The whole quote from that article is this: no one realized how this hostility had grown during his conversations with John Meringer, the ghostwriter of his memoirs, that his ghostwriter. To secure vast sales and recoup the huge advance, the publishers had encouraged Harry to criticize his family in the most extreme terms possible. Well, rest assured that there will be no shortage of people that will be there boycotting his book. And it's sad that they depend on that book or on their Netflix contract or on Spotify's contract, and that's it. There are no fallbacks, no safety net, and what if they fail? Well, we will be there whatever happens. My body language buddies, remember to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas, I'm the body language guy, and until we meet in another video or another live, remember the two most important words: much love and bliss.